Dr. Umar, it's time to pack it up. You had a fun run. It was good while it lasted, and you got a lot of money. You were able to profit a lot from the Black community. But when is enough going to be enough? Hello, and thank you so much for watching and listening to The Podacity with Keita Rose. Here we dare to use our voices, have the audacity to own who we are, and vow, raise up your roses, we vow to never stop, never shrink, and most importantly,
Never! Shut up. It's just not gonna happen.
Like, share, subscribe, talk in my comments, you know. Tell me how you really feel. And I'm gonna tell you guys how I feel about this whole Dr. Umar debacle, because that's what it is. It's incredibly embarrassing for the Black community. And you know what? What's wild is it's embarrassing for the Black community, but then also the Black community will defend it. We're always so torn. we can't agree on much. There's a man by the name of Lennon Honor who has been investigating Dr. Umar for years. People have been calling out Dr. Umar for years. It doesn't really register with some folks. And I'll say this, 2025 is the year of exposure. I think they say that Cat Williams kind of got the ball rolling with people exposing people, right? And a lot of people say, well, I don't like when people are exposing people. That's messy. First of all, if you really didn't like mess, I can't stand when people do that. Church people do it the most. I don't like all that mess. Well, how do you know about it? You know, your algorithm should be filled with planting, donating to children. What's going on in Uganda? Your algorithm should be about everything but mess, yet here you are. So quit with all that. I just don't like the exposing. If you're gonna lie on someone, you're dead wrong. If you're gonna make up a story to try to ruin somebody's reputation, if you're gonna say that somebody touched you inappropriately or did something to you, knowing that that's a false story, knowing that you're lying, you are dead wrong. And you deserve whatever punishment that person was gonna get. I don't like it when women lie against men. I don't like it when men lie against women. Lie on they yeah, I slept with her, or I slept with her, or when women say, yeah, he did this to me, knowing that that's a lie. It's despicable. It's disgusting. I think that anybody that lies on someone, especially to gain something, should go down. Point blank, period.
But if you're telling the truth,
then that's a different story. A lot of people want to go and they want to grift. A lot of people want to go and they want to abuse people. A lot of people want to hurt people in different ways. And they hope and they pray and they bank on the fact that you shut up and just let it go. That you shut up and just heal in silence and be quiet. Go away. Don't tell on me. I mean, I know I lied. I know I manipulated. I know I stole money from you. I know I did something that I wasn't supposed to do. I know that if it came out who I really am, that everybody would despise me. Right? That everybody would believe that I'm despicable. I know that. And I don't want that to get out. So don't expose me. Don't tell anybody what I did. And what I will say to that is, hell no. Sorry. Nope. I don't agree with that. I don't subscribe to that notion. If you're bold enough to do it, if you're bold enough to act a fool, if you're bold enough to be a scammer, if you're bold enough to be an abuser, if you're bold enough to do this in private, then you should have no problem standing 10 toes down in public. That's how I really feel. You should have no issue. That's just how I feel about the situation. I'm not calling Dr. Umar an abuser, right? And before I even get started, let me say this. Everything that I've said so far and everything that I'm gonna say going forward is alleged. Allegedly, for court purposes. I'm not saying that Dr. Umar is abusive, although some might say that if he is scamming the Black community, that if this school was just a hoax in order to gain a lot of profit and donations for him to live his life and to get women to use his power and influence, that's an abuse of power. Right? That would be abusive to the Black community. So I'm not saying that he's an abuser in that way. Right? But he might be. If this is all a scam, then that's exactly what it is. And if he is lying, then it does need to be called out. Point blank, period. But see, the Black community has a problem with that. We got a problem with doing everything but the right thing. The Black community has a problem with other people calling out what could be a scam, with other people doing their due diligence. So 10 odd years ago, Dr. Umar was supposed to start a school. This school was going to be for Black boys, right? He saw that there was a problem in the Black community and he wanted to be the one to fix it. The school is called the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy for Boys. Okay, that's noble. Awesome. Something that we can actually have, right? Something that we can call our own.
brothers and sisters, I am happy and elated to report to you today that we have
found the location for the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey RBG International Leadership Academy for Pan-African Excellence.
This school is going to uplift the community. This school is going to make sure that black boys have somewhere to go, that black boys can look at their principal, can look at their teachers, can have a mentor, especially if they're raised by single parents, especially if they don't have anything at home, anybody at home to look up to. This school is going to be the pinnacle of what black excellence is going to be, right?
Wrong!
Because 10 years later, it hasn't been developed. 10 years later, it's still just a building. It's still just a dream. Where did all these people's money go? Where's all these people's money? All these people that gave you $250,000. Look at this clip here where Dr. Umar is saying that he gave, this is years ago, where Dr. Umar is saying that the black community is raggedy and the black community needs to get called out.
So far, we raised $250,000, and Dr. Umar Johnson is trying to build a state-of-the-art school for black boys that y'all all know I need.
Because he wasn't able to garner millions of dollars. All he got was $250,000, and that's not enough. And so black people need to be called out, and they acting raggedy right now.
In all seriousness, though, it's sad that so many people donated to him in the hopes of building a school for the black community, regardless of whether it's a scam or just incompetence. It's sad.
This was years ago you were getting $250,000. Then fast forward a couple years after, you were only able to raise $400-something thousand. So already we're at about $1 million. Almost. Where's the money? The school has been purchased. Yes, there's property taxes and things like that. How come this school that you've talked about, that you've got donations for, how come this school that was a thought years ago, how come it's just now being painted in 2024? Last year, it was just being painted in 2024.
Thank the brothers and sisters who came out this past weekend to Wilmington, Delaware to help us paint the inside of the Marcus Garvey Re-Africanization Academy.
I mean, hell, you can go to Lowe's and get a can of paint. I'm sure if you got all those people to donate to you, there'd be a lot of people around the area that don't mind painting. How come this is just like he's talking about something? We need to tile the floors. How come the floors weren't tiled already? What were you doing? I'll tell you what you were doing. You were going on podcasts, pandering to black women, talking about we don't want snow bunnies. And he knows exactly what to say to older black women, right? If you guys don't remember, years and years and years ago, there was a thing, right? Where black women were kind of upset when they saw, it's still really a thing. I think that's why they use it. So many red pillars and so many podcast bros use this as a point to upset black women specifically, right? When they say, oh, well, it's because you guys are undesirable. It's because you guys are masculine. It's because you guys are ugly or fat and not fun and feminine. That's the reason why successful black men or black men in general are gonna date outside their race and they want nothing to do with you, right? That's a pain point in the black woman community. I don't know why, because a person can date who you want to date. I don't give a damn who doesn't choose me. I don't want to be chosen by anybody that doesn't choose me. I don't want to be tolerated in a relationship, all right? I want to go where I'm respected, not neglected, point blank, period. So I don't really give a damn who says that they don't want me. But that's been a pain point. So he's been going on podcasts saying snow bunnies never, black queens forever.
Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never.
And older black women specifically really want to hear this. They really want a leader, a black man with power that's prestigious, whatever, to come out and say, black women are worthy. Black women are something. Black women, you deserve to be chosen. And all those black women to say, yes, I do deserve this. I do want to be picked. And I love that. I love that for us. I'm lying. I'm being sarcastic. I hate that for us, to be quite honest. That's what he was doing instead of tiling the floors. He was going online calling anybody that called him out struggle streamers, people that ain't shit, ragging on them, talking shit about them, saying they ain't nothing, they ain't got no money, they ain't like him, they're not highly educated like him. That's what he was doing. That's what he was doing instead of tiling the floors. That's what he was doing instead of painting the walls of the school that should have been built years ago. He was on live talking about how women's coochies smell. About how they coochies stank, smell like tilapia, fish, salmon, and everything else, red fish, blue fish, new fish. That's one of our leaders of the black community. That's what he's doing. A lady came out by the name of Mary Ann Laurent. I hope I'm saying it right. I'll put her YouTube below, right? And she's talking about how she wanted to make a film, and the film was called The Awakening, and it was about like a prestigious member in the black community that's an advocate for black youth, right? And basically his life. And so it was going to be about Dr. Umar. It was about Dr. Umar, and she was lucky enough to have Dr. Umar playing it. So she really wants to like get to know him. Who is he? Where'd he come from? What's his story? Because the movie is about him, right? And so she talks about her experience with this man and about how she had been in contact with him for months. Nothing sexual, all business, but she was really, really excited for this movie. So she's talked to him about this, and so the first day she wants to film inside of his home. But he says, no, I don't want to be humbled. I don't want people to know that this is my home, right? Because there's been a lot of reports of people saying that Dr. Umar he's a hoarder, he lives in filth, he lives with his mom and she lives in filth, and that he don't really take care of her. All that, right? Allegedly. So he didn't want to show that. He didn't want to be depicted like that. And she's like, well, this is about, your struggle, your story. Like, this is about the characters, about you. What's the problem? And he's like, I don't want to come off like that. You guys better get me in a mansion or something like that. That's how I want to be seen, right? I want to be in a mansion. If you don't live in a mansion, and this movie is about you and how a black advocate, right, for the black community is struggling, and he may not have all the money that these white guys have, right, these politicians and everybody else has, these school leaders and everything else. He might be in the struggle with us. If anything, that makes it more powerful, right? I'm not out here getting y'all's money and going and buying private jets and everything like that. I'm in the struggle with y'all. I'm in the hood with y'all. She's like, this is going to be really captivating. He's like, no. She talks about in details about how difficult her experience with this man was. There was a scene in the movie, apparently, where he was supposed to be making love to a younger woman, right? And so she's supposed to be wearing black lingerie. And in the film, they want him to wear a tank top and some shorts. Get in the bed, they do a little rendezvous, whatever. It's really simple. But he is adamant about being in bed with this woman with no shorts on and with his shirt off. And she's like, well, as a film producer and director, I can't have you do that, because if, your thing pop out or something happen or you touch her inappropriately, this is going to be a liability.
So after the first frame was filmed, we're going to the second frame. He was so excited because he got on top of that little young girl. So excited. He talking about taking off his shirt. I slide with that. I allow him to take off the shirt. He wanted, I'm going to raise my voice and say, he wanted to remove his boxer short and to get under that sheet with that little princess with just his draw. Cut it out. Cut the rhetoric.
I don't want to do that. That scene isn't that important. That's not what we doing here. And he was adamant. I want to take my draw. I want to be just in my drawers. I want to be just in my draw. If I'm that young actress, I'm scared as hell. I'm scared as hell that his big old black ass wants to be in bed with me and derail from the script, right? No, sir, please. I'm looking at the director. I'm looking at the producer. I'm looking at everybody like, no, don't let this happen. Hell no, right? And so that's just one of the many things that she had to go through. So she shares a video on YouTube, and the video is called The Call from Dr. Umar, or A Call with Dr. Umar, where he's very upset in the voicemail, like, you talking about me, woman?
You send me the voicemail, woman? Yes, you're going to voicemail. I'm not your friend.
And I think it's just funny how he's talking, calling her woman instead of her name. Like he's supposed to be some big, powerful man. You talking about me, woman? You gonna send me the voicemail? No, you gonna answer the phone.
Nigga, please.
I'd have blocked it. Bye. He was mad because he didn't want the movie to come out. After the movie's already done, the movie's on YouTube. It's called The Awakening. He doesn't want the movie to come out. He doesn't like how he's being shown in the movie. He doesn't like the movie anymore, even though he agreed to it, even though for 3 days they filmed, even though he acted a fool in the he doesn't want it to come out. So go watch the movie. It's called The Awakening. I bet it's wonderful. I'm not going to watch anything with Dr. Umar in it. I'm just not. Dr. Umar is a comedian. Dr. Umar is very funny. Dr. Umar has charismatic, and he gets your attention, and that's great. So let it be that. Become an entertainer. Work up a comedy set. Go on tour with your comedy. But when you sit up here and say that you're a black leader, that you're a leader for the black community, that's an embarrassment. Yes, it is. And so many people will see this and be like, oh, here goes another black woman trying to tear down Dr. Umar. How many times does a black person have to do something exactly the same as a white person and get caught up, arrested, beaten, dare I say murdered? How many times is that going to happen for the community to say, oh, we can't do what they do? Oh.
They not like us. We're not like them.
You're not going to get the same privileges as somebody who has been privileged, systemically placed above you for 400 odd something years and more. You're not. You do not get the same privileges to do so. right? You do not have the same backing. You don't have the same resources. You don't have the same money. You can't flee the country if you need to. That's what a lot of people do. They flee the country. They say, ooh, this is a long scam and I finally got caught. Let me take all my money, put it in an offshore account and let me leave. You don't have it like them. So stop trying to be like them. How about we be better? Now, people are saying whether or not he's a doctor. Some people said that they were able to see his dissertation. A lot of people are saying that they weren't able to see his dissertation, so they don't know if he's a doctor. Honestly, it really don't matter because in the business of the internet, everybody say they're a doctor. In fact, I just got my PhD. How about that? And I'm an astronaut. And I own 4 strip clubs, a Waffle House, and a Piggly Wiggly. Because we're all just gonna lie. Because as long as you can get somebody to believe as long as you can get somebody to believe in you, and that's what the black community did. They very much so believed in him, right? Or they still do, some, I don't know why. But anyways, as long as you can get somebody to believe you're golden, you're good. And I think it's time in 2025 that we do better. Will there always be perversion? Yes. And when it comes to money, there will always be perversion. There will always be corruption, absolutely. But that doesn't mean that once it's called out and it's very clear in our faces, right there, it is very clear in our faces that we don't say, you got me. You got me for $500. You got me for $1,000. You were able to raise millions of dollars, but you know what? You won't get me again. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, then it's my fault, and shame on me. This film producer says that he's on the phone with her talking about, I'm the next Malcolm X. I gotta be respected. I gotta be seen in a mansion. I can't be seen in this house. Why? You live here. You can't be seen looking stanky. Stop looking stanky. You can't be seen looking sweaty, only doing lives outside because apparently you don't have a place to lay your head. Then stop doing it. Let's do better. Let's get a job. It's time to get a job. And nobody is saying that he has to get out of entertainment because that's what he's doing. He's an entertainer. Go on tour. But this is enough. Enough is enough. Talking about I'm the next Malcolm X. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not the next Malcolm X. You're not the next Martin Luther King. But the problem is, the issue is that we really don't have a lot of leaders in the black community. Right? We really don't have a lot of loud leaders is what I will say. Because there's a lot of black men and there's a lot of black women that are so smart, that are so educated, that are doing the work every single day just to educate us. Now more than anything, it really makes sense to me why the government wants to tear down the Department of Education. Because if all of us are illiterate, if all of us are stupid, if we lack common sense and context clues, if we don't understand these things, then yes, you will be easily manipulated. Yes. Yes. If I'm stupid and I don't understand things and I need you to lead me and I need you to tell me what to do and to tell me what to think and to tell me how to dress and to tell me the way to move, if I cannot be a free thinker, if I cannot be a critical thinker, then yes, I'm going to allow you to lead me. I'm going to hope and pray that you're not manipulative, that you're not abusive in your power, that you don't take vulnerable people and manipulate them and twist them any type of way just to gain from them and then discard them. I'm going to hope that you're a good person. But 9 times out of 10, these people aren't. They're going to say what they need to say. They're going to do what they need to do. They're going to finesse how they need to finesse. And that's just what it's going to be. Point blank, period. And if you are dumb, you will eat it up every time. He's a comedian. He's sitting up there talking about, I want to get married to Suki Hana. This is who you want to lead your children. He's calling a woman a throat goat, right? Her name is Siobhan Stone. And apparently they've been messing around for 2 years. But you know, Tasha K asked Siobhan, well, how did you even meet him? And Siobhan goes, well, my boy, you know, my son, he's autistic and I just really wanted some help with him, right? Because this is a man that's platformed as a leader for black boys. Pay attention. If you're a single mother and you want a man to lead your child, right? And you don't have a man in your household, you will reach out to somebody that you believe could really help him and guide him and shape him into what? Shape him into what? We have got to stop that. Well, he's a man. Go down the list of every prisoner that you know that's a man. You want him to shape your son? Let's talk about serial killers, prisoners, rapists. Just because somebody is a man doesn't mean they're equipped to lead your life. And that's what I keep, you know, every time I say this, women get so upset because we really don't want to hear the truth. At the end of the day, you need to lead yourself. You need to be able to lead yourself. That way you know how you want to be led. Lead yourself. That way you know how you want to be led. This is what I'm okay with. These are my boundaries. This is where I want to live. This is how I want to live my life. This is how I want to raise my kids. This is how I'm going to discipline my kids. This is what I want to eat on a Tuesday. But when you sit up here as a woman, especially a single mom, you need to understand, and this is coming from a single mom, that you are going to be a target. That you're going to be a target because a man will say, it's getting hard out here, isn't it? And yes, it is hard. And he'll say, don't you want some help? And you'll say, yes, I do want help. And you'll be surprised that the type of trash you let in your house, in your household, to lead your kid because you're desperate. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. What does that mean? That means if I'm desperate, I'm willing to do anything. If I'm in a vulnerable state, I'm willing to take anything. I just need help. I'm searching. I'm looking. This is why I keep telling women, stop searching for. Stop. And we're going to talk about that today too, because I'm really getting tired of the whole, I need a man. I don't care about you. I need a man. You need to figure out what you think you're going to get from a man. Then you need to provide it for yourself. Once you provide it for yourself, you'll be able to look at your options and say, you can't do it. You can't do it. You can do it. Come on. It's not about being single and wanting to be single and hating men. It has nothing to do with that. It's common sense. But the problem is, common sense ain't so common. It's just not. Okay, cool. Point blank, period. So she talks about how she's a single mom, but then somehow they get wrapped up in a relationship. And she talks about how his house is nasty. His mother is in bad condition. She talks about how he ain't really doing nothing for that school and he's a scammer. And she's online blowing him up. And everybody, oh, she just bitter. Might be. If you reached out to a black leader, this is the founder of the Marcus Garvey, the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy for Leadership in Boys. And I reached out to him so that he could lead my son, my autistic son. And he said yes, that he would. How lucky am I? But then we start hunching. And while we hunching, I see all his dirty laundry. I know exactly what's going on. I see, allegedly, papers from the FBI and the IRS.
All right.
He's lying. Umar is known to lie. Jermaine is a liar.
But you know what? I knew way before this happened, but I knew he couldn't be no damn leader when his daughter came out. And it came out that it was actually his daughter because for a long time, his supporters were saying that this was just a woman that was just coming out lying and all she wanted was clout. And for a long time, that's not his child. When it came out and it was confirmed that that was his child, then people said, oh, well, and this was what really
Pissed me off.
People said, so you 22 years old, what you need a dad for? What you talking about, oh, he was never in your life. Oh, well, you're grown. Do you understand how important it is to have as many people, grounded people, not just anybody, grounded people, right? People that are grounded, that are sound, that are secure within themselves. People that make sense, people that are intelligent. Do you know how important it is to have as many people around you? That's a village, right? To raise your child up, girl or boy. Do you know how important it is to have a village? To have mother and father, and I won't say inside of a household because so many people say that. They need to be inside the house. Okay. Well, there's a lot of people that got two parents inside the house and they acting a damn fool and showing their children what love isn't. But I'll say just to have people around. And if you weren't that lucky to be able to find a man or a woman that can come into your household and that could help you raise up your child in the right way, then at least you have mentors around. Then at least you got grandfathers and uncles and men down the street means something that come over and cut your grass and just sit down with you and tell you what it means to be a man or tell you what it means to be a woman. If you got women around you, aunties, that's why it's important. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? She's 22 years old, so she shouldn't be asking for mama and daddy. I don't give a damn how old I am. I'm always going to need my parents. What are you talking about? I'm always going to need guidance because you've just now turned this age. You've never been 30. You've never been 22. You've never been 25, but you know who has been? Men and women that came before you. And that's why we seek out leadership. That's why we seek out mentorship. Are you dumb? It doesn't make any sense. His followers were attacking this girl. Talking about, oh, you shouldn't need no daddy. Okay. I knew you couldn't be no leader. You can't be a leader if you can't even lead your family. That's just what it is. All these men out here that are coming out, it's coming out that they're deadbeats. It's coming out that they weren't there for their children. You trying to lead a community? You're trying to lead young boys? You can't even lead your daughter? You can't even lead your household? You out here making broken homes and you're trying to be a leader? What proof of concept do we have that you can lead anything? We don't have any. I knew he couldn't be no leader when it came out that he was a deadbeat. You can't lead a community if you can't even lead your household, period, point blank. You can't lead a community if you cannot lead your household. And I'm sick of the rhetoric of, oh, well, the woman, the wife, she was terrible. You mean you don't know how to pick the mother of your children? You don't know how to pick the wife, a good helpmate? Right? Somebody that's your neck, where they say the man is the head and the woman is the neck. You don't pick a good neck? They know how to pick good throat goats, but they don't know how to pick a good neck. That doesn't make any sense. This is the Nelson Mandela, Samuel L. Jackson, Dennis W. Rodman, Denzel Washington Academy School for Boys and Adolescents. It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. What's wild is the community will sit up here and say that women and men, they love tearing a black man down and all this nonsense, right? That we love tearing a black man down. Actually, we love uplifting black men. Actually, it means something when a black man really cares about his community, cares about his family. When there are so many black men that are standing up and doing the right thing, the problem is they're just not loud. They just don't have the right type of podcast equipment, right, to overshadow or to overthrow these loud, ignorant black men that come out and abuse their power and abuse their position. There are tons of black men that are doing amazing things for their community. There are tons of black men that actually love their wives and actually are there for their daughters and sons and show up every single day. There are tons of black men that do that, but we don't know who they are because we're worried about Dr. Umar. Because we're thinking about Dr. Umar and we're calling him a leader. He's not a leader. He's not a leader. He's a scammer.
And on March 1st, 2024, Umar did what everyone has waited a decade for. He set an opening date, September 3rd, 2024. Narrator, the school did not open.
Well, the time has come. I have kept my promise, and I will deliver to our young men and their parents, especially our single mother, a school that will be a heaven on earth.
And he knows exactly what to say. Just like that Snow Bunny situation. He knew that specifically older black women would love to hear that I would never choose them. I'd choose you. A lot of black men struggling will choose you. Duh. And especially if you open your home to them and you let them use your car. He don't even be making sense. He just says things 3 times. And I think he is really able to send his supporters into some type of psychosis, into some type of hypnosis. I really think he has the ability to do that because he says, hit my PayPal, hit my PayPal, hit my PayPal. And everybody's like, okay, I will do what this nigga says. I will listen to this nigga. He said it 3 times and with conviction. How could you refuse it? It's crazy. It doesn't even make any sense. His response to the woman that he's been dating for 2 years is her stink. You say she got tilapia, she got fresh fish, she got red fish, she got salmon, she got all types of stuff between her legs, but that didn't deter you. For 2 years you was in between her legs. For 2 years you were in between her legs. And honestly, Dr. Umar kind of looked like, in my opinion, looked like he stank. When he's not dressed up, when he's not, sometimes he looks really nice in his suits, but when he's outside yelling at y'all and saying shit 3 times, he looks like he stinks. Not like there's an immediate odor, like as soon as I meet you, there'll be an odor of opened that smacks me across my face, but definitely like a whiff of shit. Like okay, somebody didn't wash. You know what I mean? Like all right, who farted then themselves? Seriously, guys, I'm tired of this. You know what I mean? It's giving I sweat a lot. I pander a lot, I yell a lot, I say shit 3 times. I'm gonna make you feel bad, but it's not giving Malcolm X. It's not giving Martin Luther King. It's not giving any of that. What are you talking about? Please stop this. I don't wish anything bad on black men or black women. I don't wish that Dr. Umar loses everything. I hope he goes on tour as a comedian. I hope he goes on tour as an entertainer. But we need to stop this. We need to stop with this whole he's a leader of the black community and he's going to help out black boys. Because what he's doing is, even in Siobhan's story, right? She has an autistic boy. And she said, oh, well, he's a leader, he's a mentor, he's gonna help me. And he's using this position in power, allegedly, to sleep with these women, because that's what a lot of people do when they abuse their power. And he's using it to sleep with women and to get in good and to get on these pods and to do this and that. And nothing's going to that school. That's why after 10 years, it's just now being tiled. What do you mean? It's not hard to tile floor. It's not even that expensive. What are you talking about? And he has no problem telling everybody how broke they are and how he living like this and how he been flued out and went here and did this and went on this. Okay, so then why the school ain't tiled? Huh? Why the school ain't painted? Who has applied to be a teacher for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy? Has anybody gotten the job? When do you start? It's a scam. When you see there's a need and you see that there's a problem, you sell the solution to said problem, right? And so that's what you do. And that's what he did. He sold the solution to a problem. Black little boys need guidance. Black little boys need somebody to look up to. Black little boys need fathers. And even though it's become a joke, right? Like single mom ain't got no man. You can talk about single moms all you want. But if you're going to talk about single moms, then you need to bring up the fact that there's absent fathers, right? So just that all that you talk about single moms, talk the same about absent fathers, about fathers that are sitting up here creating broken homes, acting a fool and being reckless, and they don't give a damn about their kids. Not for real. They don't give a damn about their seed. Not for real. They don't care. They're there just enough to take a picture on Father's Day because they want those accolades. A lot of people want accolades. A lot of people want to praise, right? A lot of people want, oh, you a father. And I'm not just talking about men, women. Oh, you a wife. But you don't know what it takes to be a wife. You don't know what it takes to be a father. You don't know what it takes to be a mother. These things aren't just titles that you throw out. A lot of people had children, and ain't a lot of people fathers and mothers. A lot of people can get married. Anybody can get married. There's not a lot of wives and husbands. So it matters. Words matter. Titles matter. If you want the title and the accolades and the praise that comes with being a father, then you'll become one. And you'll be one to the best of your abilities. Nobody is saying be perfect. We're saying be present. And you can't even do that. So you're not going to lead a community because you can't even lead your household. It's a fucking joke. And anybody that's praising this shit and saying that everybody's a hater that calls it out, they're fucking jokes too. So
let's have a laugh at they.
because they're jokes. What's embarrassing is there's white YouTubers like Spencer Cornelius that makes videos about how he's a scammer and how he's been a scammer for years and how they weren't able to find his dissertation, Dr. Umar's dissertation, and different things like that. That's embarrassing, right? You want to talk about how the black people only want to see black people go down. No, anybody's going to watch a dumpster fire. If you're on fire and you running around and you a show, everybody's going to watch it no matter what community. Everybody's going to watch it and laugh. And that's exactly what he's doing. In fact, at the end of Spencer Cornelius' video, he says that it's kind of really sad. I mean, he makes a joke about how he's going to start a school. But he also says that it's kind of sad that, you know, there was supposed to be a school for black kids, black boys, but there's not really one.
In all seriousness, though, it's sad that so many people donated to him in the hopes of building a school for the black community, regardless of whether it's a scam or just incompetence. It's sad.
How does that feel? When another community can look at ours and say, it's really sad. You're supposed to have something. You're supposed to uplift black boys because you saw a problem in the community and you sold a solution, but that solution turned out to be how sad. Well, I'm going to wrap this episode on up. Also, if you haven't bought a Growing Through It journal, buy a Growing Through It journal, buy a Growing Through It journal. And speaking of that, I know I said I was going to wrap this up. Speaking of that, because you guys bought a Growing Through It journal, I was able to actually donate to a single mom. The single mom that went viral a couple days ago, or I don't know when this is going to come out, but a week ago, all right? The single mom that really needed help. And she was so appreciative. And it got me thinking that I really want to do more for single moms. I know how hard it is out here when you're preyed upon, right? When you pray and there's predatory men out there and women out there that see you need help and pretend to be a part of your village, only to be one of the reasons why it's harder for you out here. I don't think that that's funny. So thank you guys for donating. We were able to help her. If you want to help this cause and push this along, go ahead to KitaSaidIt.com and purchase something. Thank you in advance. And until next time, I will holla.